Welcome to Smart Minds English Grammar and IQ Quizzes. This is the Cognitive Tech series, where we challenge your brain with logical reasoning and IQ-based questions. Each puzzle is designed to sharpen your analytical thinking and test how fast you can spot hidden patterns. Take your time, think smart, and let's see how well you can reason through today's quiz. Choose the image that completes the pattern from left to right. Look closely at the first image, the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. Now, which option do you think comes next? At first glance, these patterns might seem complex, but I promise it's just a sneaky little illusion. All you need to do is focus on one element at a time. And just like that, you'll have it all figured out. Now, we have 5 potential options. Option A, Option B, Option C, Option D, and Option E. Your objective is to identify which one of these options correctly completes the pattern. The clock starts now. The correct answer is Option D. Looking closely at the pattern, we can see that it is made up of 3 unique elements, with one of them appearing twice. The shaded parts rotate in a clockwise direction, and between these shaded areas, the repeated element is placed opposite itself. The other 2 elements then fill the remaining spaces, which makes Option D the correct choice. Question 2. Our task is to identify the correct sequence of 3 figures that complete the pattern. All right, now let's test your observation skills. We're moving to the 4th row of this sequence. Which of these options, A, B, C, or D, do you think fits perfectly? Your time is ticking. You don't have long to decide. Which option are you locking in? Let's see if you got it right. Take a close look. Each shape shifts one step to the right, and the rightmost shape moves to the leftmost position. Plus, the shaded halves alternate with every row. If you chose Option D, sorry, that doesn't match the rule. Option A? Not quite either. Option C? Still not correct. That leaves Option B. And yes, Option B is the right answer. It follows both the shifting pattern and the shading alternation, completing the 4th row perfectly. Which of the following box should replace the question mark to complete the pattern? You are given options A, B, C, D, and E. Observe carefully and, don't forget, focus on a single element and then define how the movements occur before looking at the overall pattern. Your time starts now.
In this matrix, there are 2 main rules to consider. First, let's look at the circle. As we move across each row from left to right, the circle stays in the same row, but shifts one column to the right with each new frame.
Now, let's examine the star. Across each row, the star remains in the same column, but moves up one row in every successive frame. When we look down a column, the circle remains in the same row but appears in different columns with each frame. In the upper right frame, an interesting interaction occurs. The circle and the star overlap, and the circle ultimately covers the star. By applying these rules, we can eliminate incorrect options. Option A is missing the circle, and options B, C, and D have the star in the wrong position. Hence, the only correct solution is option E.
Which of the following boxes should replace the question mark to complete the pattern?
We've got a set of options A, B, C, D, and E. As we dive into each one, which of them perfectly completes the pattern? It's a fun challenge, right? I'm confident you'll nail it. All right, let's get started. Your time begins now. In this matrix, each row and column follows a rule. One of the boxes is always formed by combining the other two. Now, look at the third column. The two given boxes here are different and share no common elements. This means the missing box must be a direct combination of these two. Next, observe the third row. If we combine the first box with the second box, which happens to be blank, it simply reproduces the first box. By applying this rule consistently, we can determine what the missing box must look like in order to satisfy both the row and column conditions. Therefore, the only option that fits this logic is option C, making it the correct answer. Question 5. Identify the odd one out. Option 1, Option 2, Option 3, Option 4, or Option 5. One option does not belong in the sequence. Your time starts now. The task is to identify the odd one out among the given options. At first glance, all the boxes appear quite similar, but a closer inspection reveals a subtle difference in one of them. In most of the options, a vertical line divides the box into two equal halves. Each half mirrors the other, creating a symmetrical balance. It's as if you could fold the box vertically and both sides would match perfectly. Symmetry is the key principle here. For options 1, 2, 4, and 5, the vertical fold reveals identical patterns on both sides, maintaining perfect reflection. This shows that symmetry is preserved in these cases. Option 3 stands out because it breaks this symmetry. When the box is divided vertically, the left and right halves do not reflect each other. Instead, the hearts are placed in a way that disrupts the mirroring effect. For proper symmetry, both hearts should either be positioned at the top of the box or at the bottom. Therefore, option 3 is the odd one out. The lack of vertical symmetry sets it apart from the rest, making it the correct choice.
Question 6. Which option fits best to complete this sequence?
Given that M is to N, as P is to what? Considering the available options, option A, option B, option C, option D, and option E, which option fits best? Your time begins now.
When we look at the relationship between figure M and figure N, we notice that the blue sections in figure M become white in figure N, and the white areas transform into green. To find the correct answer for figure P, we must apply the same transformations. By examining the options, we can eliminate those that don't follow this pattern. Option A fails because the white section remains white and the blue area turns green instead of white. Option C is also incorrect since the blue section remains unchanged. Option D doesn't work because it swaps the white and blue areas incorrectly. And option E fails since the white area turns blue instead of green. Ultimately, the correct choice is option B, as it perfectly mirrors the transformations we observed. The white section becomes green, and the blue area becomes white.
Question 7. Which option fits best to complete the sequence? Does this look familiar? I'm confident it does. If you've been paying close attention, you'll be able to crack this quickly. All you have to do is identify the pattern, the color, and the movement of the elements. You'll have these options: Option A, Option B, Option C, Option D, and Option E. Which one completes the sequence? Your time begins now. All right, let's analyze the patterns. If we observe the hexagonal shapes, we notice that the shaded areas, which are blue and gray, rotate in a clockwise direction. The yellow arrow moves clockwise, and its pointing direction changes at each sequence. The blue arrow also moves clockwise and changes its pointing direction with each step. The star, too, moves in a clockwise direction and shifts its position at each sequence. Meanwhile, the circle also moves clockwise and changes color from black to white at each sequence. All right, let's go through the options. First, option A is not correct because the pattern doesn't rotate in a clockwise direction at all. Option B is also not correct because the shaded areas and the elements aren't aligned properly. Now, option D doesn't work either because even though the pattern rotates clockwise, the yellow arrow isn't facing the correct direction and the circle remains white. Option E is also incorrect because the arrow is not pointing the right way. That leaves us with option C, which meets all the criteria. The pattern rotates correctly in a clockwise direction, the arrow is facing the right way, and the circle changes from white to black. Therefore, option C is the correct answer. Question 8. Which option fits best to complete the sequence? Take a close look. These curly, mirrored symbols might seem random, but they're not. Each shape flips or mirrors in a predictable pattern. This is a classic abstract reasoning trick, testing how quickly your brain can spot visual logic, not numbers or words. All right, you are presented the following option: Option A, Option B, Option C, and Option D. Your time starts now. The right answer is option D. Why? Because the pattern alternates between flipping horizontally, and option D continues that exact sequence. The first and second segments are opposites of each other. The same is true for the third and fourth segments. Now it's your turn to think. I'm not giving you the answers for these last two. See if you can crack them yourself, and share your answers in the comments. Question 9. Which option fits best to complete the sequence? Take your time, observe it carefully. Okay, question 10. Which option fits best to complete the sequence?
No need to be in a hurry on this. You're in the learning phase now. Focus on accuracy, and speed will come with practice. When you've got your answer, drop it in the comments below. Good luck. That's it for now from Smart Minds English, Grammar, and IQ quizzes. How many did you crack? Comment your score and join us again for more brain-boosting quizzes.